So today is December 15th, and yesterday I finished sanding this plank here that I put the carbon fiber on, and this plank here, sanded that down and lowered the boat down, leveled it up a little bit, and started playing around with cabin ideas. So I've got these frames set up to kind of outline the general idea. So it would actually come a little bit farther back. It'd be back in this space here, but this is an easy place to clamp onto. So the cabin would come up at an angle like this, roughly, up to about like this height here, and then follow a curve over essentially the top of where this this little beam I've put on here. So it would come up, curve over that like that, and back down to here. And so looking at it from this side, it would look like that. Sorry about all the ropes and stuff in the way. Makes it a little bit harder to see. So I'll walk around the other side, see what it looks like from the bow. So something like that. So that's my thinking right now. So I'm going to start working on making a template for the aft part. So it's going to actually come, the rear part of the cabin will come back to about 6 inches or so back from this station here, right across there. So essentially it'll be just ahead of this inspection port. So right around in this area here, and come across like that. And this could all, of course, change, but what I'm thinking is just an opening on this side here, and then leave this closed off on the cabin. So I can actually, I've climbed in and out a few times. My feet go, if I basically go in feet first, pretending that this is, I've just got a small opening here. I can easily get in. My feet can go all the way down to that forward bulkhead there. This is a little bit more than 6 feet to this one here, which is why I want to come just a little bit more, like 6 feet, 6 inches or so worth of space, so that I can lie down underneath the, inside the cabin, underneath all this stuff. Then I can add like a little porthole thing here on the side, and on either side, maybe one in the front with like a little bug screen thing in it, and I can have a canvas cover that goes on over this part, keep rain out and that kind of thing. But if the boat's on a anchored or on a mooring, it'll feather head to wind, and so that should be a nice sheltered space for cruising purposes and that sort of thing. So I've still got plenty of room back here to seat 2 people comfortably, possibly 3. And the other thing is working on yesterday, just playing around with, is all the different ropes and everything for controlling the sails. So the sails will be on the mast all the time. The mast will just rotate around and wind the sails up on them. So I need a furling drum system with a rope on here to basically furl the mizzen up. Same thing with the mainsail up at the other end. And then a rope system to pull the sail out on the boom. There'll be a topping lift from the top of the mast down to the end of the boom, so the boom will hang at the right level. A rope to pull the sail out on the boom and outhaul, essentially, and the furling line, and then a sheet, of course. So the sheet will attach basically back here for the mizzen. For the main, the mast is, of course, up there. The boom will fall along just a little bit above the cabin here, which is a nice height, so it won't hit me in the head if I'm sitting down there. And the end of the boom I'm going to have come all the way close to the mizzen mast here. So the sail will actually stop around this space here, but the boom's going to come all the way so that I can sheet the end of the boom down here to a traveler. So I just sort of mock this up here, but the traveler car would basically be on a track in this area, and I'm going to elevate the wood that the traveler is on, put some spacers underneath it so I can run the ropes from the mizzen system underneath the traveler, and then have some cleats here for the mizzen controls. And then the main sheet obviously would just be here, main sheet pulley system with a cleat on it, and I'm going to have the outhaul system and the furler and everything for the main will be there'll be a drum on the main mast up here, line coming back from that, and then the outhaul from the boom will come from the sail to the end of the boom, and then back this way and down to the deck and along the same pathway as the ropes for the furler system. So basically just uncleat the furler, pull the main out, and then reverse the process, wind the main back up again. So that should work out and should be fairly simple. The other thing that I was looking at yesterday is I want to, from a rowing position point of view, a seat at the end of the centerboard trunk here still works pretty well. So I'd set up a piece of plywood and some foam rubber on the end of the centerboard trunk there, just sat there. There is enough room to row with the end of the cabin where I expect to have it. I think it'll be okay. But it'd be nicer if that seat was a little farther this direction. So that got me thinking, well, what if I did a sliding seat rowing thing? So I'm going to be playing around with that idea some more, but I think I can, basically attach a sliding seat rowing thing that'll sit here just in front of the rudder. Make a little bracket that'll sit on there, and then another bracket that'll basically fit. So if I lower the centerboard a little bit while I'm rowing, I can basically have a piece of wood that goes down inside the centerboard trunk a little bit, with a flat piece on the top that the other side of the rowing seat can be attached to. So I could have a rowing seat basically going back and forth here. And then I'll put the oarlocks. There'll be a coaming out here, and I'll have a block or some sort of extension out just outside the coaming for the oarlocks. And so I'll have a set of oarlocks here for the sliding seat thing. And then I'm also probably going to set up a set of oarlocks ahead of that, maybe up in this area here. Because I also like the idea of basically be able to stand here and face forward looking over the top of the cabin and basically row facing forward, row standing up. And because that's a nice way to see where you're going, a little variety, and sometimes it's good to get into a different position, that sort of thing. So that's my thinking there. So it's coming along really nice from an idea point of view. Just got to get to making up some templates for the framing here. This one will be a little bit more complicated because I got to get over this and under the side decks and everything. The forward one will be a piece of cake, and then I'll cut out the material for that. So I'm going to be actually using some foam core material, which I have stored up there in the loft of the garage for a couple of years, so finally going to use it up. I'm into using things up these days, so I want to use it up, plus it'll be fairly lightweight material, and if I do capsize the boat or whatever, they'll provide loads of extra buoyancy and everything. So good idea all around, just to use it up and use it for that purpose, and plus it keeps the center of gravity lower. All this stuff that's up higher will weigh a lot less. So that's the idea for now.